I have asked the boys to eat well. So, are we communicating, Kanda Kumar?
Yes.
Any other questions on this aspect of it? Make sense? Doable? Practical?
Yes.
Please speak with data. Consciously speak with data. Avoid using ASAP at the earliest. Maybe, may not be, all this words which do not communicate anything, avoid it. These words do not mean anything to anyone. Recently I had an experience. I had bought an equipment to be installed at my home, and this guy writes to me. I had paid 50,000 rupees, okay, and this guy writes to me and says, sir, we will come and install it as soon as possible. I was getting irritated. I wrote back a mail saying, gentlemen, what does this mean to me and you? In brackets, nothing. It means nothing to me. I don't know. As soon as possible means today, tomorrow, next year, I don't know. So he writes back me a mail saying, sir, latest by Friday 2 p.m. it will be done. Now all that I can do is ask him to do it little earlier. But now I know it is Friday 2 p.m. maximum. I have a correct detailed answer there, a data there, but ASAP is not a data. It is irritating me. We will have more and more irate clients. So reduce that and increase, because this is an ingredient to increase your credibility and respect. It's a major ingredient. B, R, I, bright, brilliant, connect with communication. Brief. Give him a big hand. That's exactly it. Give a big hand, no. Brief, in other words, brevity. In other words, brevity. Now, what do we mean by brief? Being brief? Short. Anything else in brief?
Straightforward.
Huh? Straightforward. Then? Crisp. Okay. Oh, you're going back to we are deriving that from this. Short. Kiss. Keep it short and simple, right? But what is brief to me may not be brief to you. Correct? Recently, let me share an experience. I was doing a program for a Korean joint venture company. Okay, they are into furnaces and multi-jet engines. So it's a 2-day sales and marketing initiative program. So day one, the Korean gentleman, who is a senior vice president, technical and marketing, he said, Mr. Justin, I would like to take 15 minutes to small presentation to the team. I said, fine, fantabulous, thank you. So this gentleman started the presentation, and with 4 slides, he delivered a 15-minute presentation. On the 13th minute, he was concluding the presentation. 15th minute dot, he concluded the presentation. Using how many slides? 4 slides. As a layman, I understood the basic function of a furnace. I am not an engineer. A basic function of a furnace in those 15 minutes. And with a heavy accent, using simple words, that's how the presentation went by. And he meant what it was brief. He said, I wanted to make a brief presentation. Seeing this, our Indian counterpart, he is also Senior Vice President, Marketing, Indian counterpart. He came to me. He said, Justin, I would like to make a presentation tomorrow morning. I will take 15 minutes. I said, okay, this gentleman has taken 15 minutes. So he is going to take another 15 minutes. It's fine, absolutely fine with me. What's the problem? So I said, please go ahead. So next day morning he comes, he tells the team, I'm going to make a brief presentation to the team. And the moment he said brief, everybody was looking at me. Some of them were giving me a dirty look. Why the hell did you give the platform to him? Kind of a look they were giving me. I didn't understand this first. So 15 minutes went by, 17 slides gone. Half an hour passed by, 27 slides gone. 45 minutes, 44 slides gone. I was wondering what's happening, because people are giving me a dirty look. What nonsense. And people looking at the watch and all those things are happening, and some of the slides I do not understand why they are there. The purpose of the slide is not justified at all, because you can't read those slides. So small is the letters written on that. 1 hour passed by, he has used almost close to 52 slides. At the end, I went behind and gave him a signal, time up signal. You know what he said? 5 more minutes. He said 5 more minutes. After 1 hour and 27 minutes, with 72 slides, he concluded his presentation. And today, all that I remember from that presentation is multi-jet engine. That word called multi-jet engine is the word called multi-jet engine I remember from that presentation. So that's why I am saying brief may not be brief to me. So I will give you 3 steps in being brief. Step number 1 is tell them what you want to tell them. Tell them what you want to tell them. That is the big picture. Give them the big picture. Today we are going to talk about aerospace. Give the big picture. Second step, tell them. Give the bullet points. There are 5 critical issues which has come up in aerospace. Here I use the 3 by 3 rule. Each point would have maximum of 3 points. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are not going to go this way, but one by one we are going to transit. It is going to come one after the other. So second step is tell them. Use the bullet points. Final step is tell them what you had told them. Summary, simple as that. Hey, now that we have discussed the 5 critical issues in aerospace, let us see whether we are all in alignment with what we discussed. Right? Point number 1, your thoughts please. 2, 3, summary, and conclude it. So I call this as BBS, big picture, bullet points, summary. In other words, tell them what you want to tell them. Tell them what you had told them. Make sense? Practical? Even in your telephone conversations, even one-on-one or making a presentation, follow this rule. I tell you, people will sit up and listen to you. Generally what people do, they follow the second step. They keep telling them. Finally, what did he tell you? What? So, something he was talking here. We tell now. For example, he is my boss. Okay? Boss, fantastic presentation, boss. One of the best presentation in the recent past. Thank you very much, boss. Okay? Because appraisal is coming up. Correct? Right? So, I had, for example only I am taking, please do not focus on him as such, okay? Right? Here when I choose people, it is not that people, it is the character. Right? Now, he is my colleague, I go to him, Arey, how are you doing? Good, huh? What nonsense, this fellow is wasting my time, your time, did you understand anything at all? Huh? Every week he does that, huh? No other worker, what? Huh?
People will start correlating these things with real. It happens actually.
Exactly, that is where I am coming from. Now, this is exactly what happens. Why it happens? Because people follow the second step only. Keep telling them. If people had to follow big picture, bullet points and summary, this will not happen. There are few presenters, we look forward to them. No? Oh, he is going to make a presentation, we will all go. We go and sit there ahead of time. Why? Because these people use this BBS. They speak with data. They use BBS, they are brief. They understand and value others' time. They respect others' time. Hence, they wanted to be very crisp. That is what speak with data, BBS, and then finally C. Clarity. Give a big hand. That's exactly. Clarity. Make sense? Clarity in what? Clarity in content and clarity in tone of voice. Clarity in content should be the note. Clarity in tone of voice doesn't mean anything. The content has to be clear. Right? Now, clarity has a, what is this? Say na. Are say together.